What are you expecting from Pedro?
Pedro Combo is a strong, rugged Mexican veteran fighter. So I know he's gonna come to fight. I know he can take a punch. I know he can give a punch. But best believe I hit just as hard. I'm faster. I'm better looking. I'm taller. So 20-0 coming Saturday.
Yeah. Would you say this is your step fight up in the fight where if you perform like you feel you can, that people are going to start saying, okay, Brandon Lee's for real, he's the real deal?
I think so. I mean, I would hope so. I do. I would hope so. But at the end of the day, boxing critics are boxing critics. At the end of the day, I can fight fucking King Kong and they're still going to talk shit,
Yeah. And you did suffer a little scare a fight ago. You busted off. You won the pretty much every round after that. What do you remember from that moment, going through that moment as a young fighter? It's kind of important because it tests your heart, it tests your wills, and it lets you know that not every fight's going to go according to plan,
I got clipped. I made a rookie mistake. I got over too confident, way too quick, way too fast. And more importantly, I just forgot that, at the beginning of the fight, we're both 100% still strong. I should have, waited until after the 7th round to start applying that pressure. But I just got clipped.
Mm-hmm. It looks like you could possibly move into the contender position, maybe a title eliminator of some kind at 140. But do you plan on staying in that division? Is that your division? That's the division where you want to shine at?
Yeah, 140 is going to be my division. I'm not a big fan of fighters, fighting at a weight class and not accomplishing and then moving up. So I want to accomplish something at 140, and then I'll start looking at 147.
Yeah, and I got to ask you about the big fight. I think in a week, it's fight week for Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia. You know Ryan very well from when you guys were young. I think you fought him like 4 or 5 times. What's your thoughts heading into the fight? You've probably already given the breakdown, so maybe just everything that goes into the fight now, like the rehydration clause and all that. I mean, what are your thoughts on all that?
I think it's a great fight for boxing, and may the best man win.
As for the rehydration class, like all that,
I mean, that's their stuff, I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's their business. If he had a problem with it, he shouldn't have signed it. If he was cool with it, he signed it. So, he better fight. They both better fight. April 22nd?
April 22nd. How do you reflect on that, having fought him and now where he's at and where you're at? And you guys are definitely rising to the top of the sport. Just looking back at you guys' amateur fights and how much work I would imagine is going into getting to this point of your professional career, man. How cool is that just to sit back and watch you guys' progress,
It's cool. It's really cool. When I first turned pro, it's kind of funny because it's kind of like similar to amateurs. Everyone in the amateurs is the top dog. You see them at the nationals and the pros. It's the same thing. You see everybody,
You already know who's who and like this is the guy that I'm gonna have to be fighting or whatever.
Exactly.
I gotta ask you about that fight in particular. What do you think is at stake for both fighters, man? I know Tank has been very vocal about saying that he will be the face of boxing, that Canelo's kind of on his way out. Canelo hasn't looked too good in his last couple of fights, but do you feel that a win for either one can elevate them to that position to carry the sport and be the face of the sport?
Absolutely. I think that's for sure one of the biggest fights in the past 5 years easily. So may the best man win, and best believe I'm gonna tune in.
This sport's on fire, man. Starting off the year, a lot of big fights. It looks like Spence versus Crawford could be on its way to being finally hasn't confirmed. What do you think about the sport's start this year, 2023, man? And how does that motivate you, seeing all these big fights, to want to eventually be in that position, like you said, a main eventer?
It's a huge motivation because there's boxing's hot right now. So come Saturday night, I gotta continue to keep boxing hot, and I gotta look good so I can become a main event later on this year.
You have any thoughts on that fight if it goes down on Spence versus Crawford?
Crawford and Spence, that's one hell of a fight. It's gonna be a chess match. I wouldn't pick a winner. I'm a fan of both of them, so may the best man win.
Yeah, they're both coming into this fight. I would say Crawford with very good rhythm. He's just coming off a fight. Spence is going to be coming off like maybe a year's layoff or something along those lines. But just as a fighter, man, how does the layoff affect the fighter? I know you've had your breaks in between too, but do you expect that to be any kind of factor in heading into a fight for them?
It depends. If Spence is taking like a year and a couple months layoff. If he's in the gym active, then not a problem. But he's already at that high level where it's just another day in the gym for him. But as long as he's staying active, staying in the gym, then it should be no problem.
Last thing, man, what did you tell all your fans on Saturday? I know a lot of people, you have a good support system. Fans show up to support you. You can hear them chanting your name and all.
I love all my fans. I love when they come out. We're gonna have the Mexican side, the Asians, all the Americans, and I'm truly grateful because without the fans, there's no Brandon Lee.
Cool, Brandon. Appreciate your time, man. Good luck on Saturday.
Of course.